You've been drawing for hours and instead of looking like this, your drawing looks like this and you have no idea what to do to make it better. I know this feeling. And luckily, I know what to do to solve this problem. Hi, I'm Lee. Draw with me. Lately, when I was drawing my entry for Christmas Draw This in Your Style, I fixed my drawing from this to this, and I thought that's a great idea for a YouTube video, cause I'm probably not the only one who sometimes has these art problems. I will show you how I improve my drawings not after a year, but just during this drawing session. Artists on YouTube often fix other people's artworks, and these videos are really interesting, but it's even more interesting when you see this kind of progress in your own drawings in just a few minutes. Sometimes the solution is very simple. Look, this drawing is quite good, but you can see that something is wrong here. I drew this in May and it was supposed to be a quick sketch, a bit stylized because I was so bored with realism then, and even though I really liked the whole drawing and I liked the style, there was something wrong with the face. I didn't know what it was, and I was afraid that if I changed the proportions, I would go back to the realism, and I really didn't want that at that moment. I've go back to this drawing after a few months and realized that I had to change the proportions of the face to make it better. I didn't want to draw this again from scratch, so I started from selected the eye, moved it, and changed the size. I remember that after a few seconds the drawing looked so much better, and it turned out that only one eye was the problem. Well, I added this little video on Insta story and you were shocked that the drawing could change so much in just a few clicks. At the end, I added a few more details and the drawing finally looked like this. I really like it. Another example is this drawing. I made it in literally an hour and I was glad that it turned out so well, but something about it didn't feel right to me. What was that? It turned out that even though I wanted this drawing to be stylized, the head was definitely too big. So that's why I needed to make it smaller twice. And now it looked much better, but it still needed some changes. So I moved the lips slightly to the left, added shadows, light, and more hair. And that's it, ta-da! The drawing is done. A similar situation was with this drawing. I drew everything one-to-one to the reference, but the character didn't look like her, even though the proportions were right. This happened to me a few times when I was drawing realistic portraits with colored pencils and markers. I've noticed then that some people are very difficult to draw, and sometimes it's really hard to capture their likeness. And seriously, I'm really good at finding differences between two pictures, so I still don't know where the problem is. I have no idea why some people are really easy to draw and some people definitely not. If you know the answer, please let me know in the comment section. Seriously. Let's go back to this drawing. It looked so bad and honestly, I should have forgotten about it, but I thought that since I like to make stylized art now, I would try to stylize this drawing and change something in it. Especially that I had nothing to lose. Except maybe a little time, so it was worth to try. So I make the eyes bigger, move the nose and lips, draw the side of the face a little differently, and added a few more details. And based on that portrait, I think that drawing 100% from reference, it's not always the best idea to keep the likeness of the character. Now I really like this drawing, and it's one of my favorites from this year, so it was really worth to try. Now, let's move on to the drawing I talked about at the beginning of this video. I drew my entry for this Draw This in Your Style challenge, and I was really happy at this stage of drawing, especially with the character's face. It was so cute! But there was something wrong with her pose, and I needed to figure out what it was. I started from making her head smaller, but it still didn't help much. She still looked bad. Okay, she looked good, but not perfect. I noticed that my character was too stiff compared to the reference, and even I was changing and changing and changing it, my feelings about this pose were still the same. I decided to start over again and draw the pose on the blank canvas. And I made this. But honestly, that was it. The character seems to dance a bit, she looked really chill, so yes, that's what I wanted to create from the beginning. However, I didn't want to draw this whole illustration again. I like that face too much to give up on this, so I decided to adjust the drawing to the new pose. The first idea was very bad because I only moved some parts of the face like the eyes, eyebrows, nose and lips, and I knew I had to start drawing the whole head again to make this character look normal. And oh my god, it was too unnecessary work. So I could leave it like that. But please, it's so creepy. Or try something else. So I started again. This time I moved her entire head. The expression from the sketch unfortunately disappeared, but I liked this face so much so I didn't have to change it. It was all about the pose. So I matched the drawing to the sketch, and finally it looked like this. A few more moves and whoa, what a change! And the finished drawing looked like this. I really like it and I'm so proud of myself because my stylized drawings are getting better and better. It's not the end. I have two more examples. Fixing these drawings was much more difficult than the previous four. So I decided to keep them as a bonus video for my patrons. I will show you how I created this from this and how I fixed this drawing to make it look this good. If you want to watch it, it's available on the Patreon. Link you can find in the description. Enjoy! I showed you 4 examples of how you can improve your drawings when you feel that they have potential, but they don't look the best for some reasons. However, sometimes it happens that even though we know that something is wrong with the drawing, fixing it doesn't bring the expected results. We draw for hours and hours, and either nothing changes or it gets even worse. This has probably happened to you at least once, right? There's only one solution. You just need to give your eyes a break from this view. So just turn off your tablet, computer, say goodbye to the Procreate, Photoshop, or whatever program you use to draw, and do something else. Cook, play an instrument, go on a walk, anything, just anything. And after some time, come back to the drawing with a fresh look. Then it will be much easier for you to spot mistakes. Because when we stare at one thing for a long time, our perception starts to lie to us. So we can think that it's a beautiful drawing when it looks terrible, or we think that it's a very bad drawing when it actually looks great. So that's why sometimes we look at our drawings from a few days ago and think, What the? Why did I post that? Now you know why. Your brain wasn't being really honest with you. But if you don't have time to leave your work because the drawing needs to be finished quickly, try flipping the canvas. It will be something new for your eyes and it will be easier for you to notice what is wrong with the drawing. This is a similar solution to the previous one, but for people who don't have that much time. Let me know what part of this video was the most helpful for you. Enjoy fixing your drawings! Thank you so much for watching and see you soon. Bye! By the way, you can send me Instagram DM if you want to show me your fixed drawings. Okay, bye!